My name is Zain. Took my parents to court today because they shouldn't have given birth to me. Ridiculous, isn't it? There's even more ridiculous. Not long ago, I stabbed my brother-in-law and got 5 years. That's great. The whole country knows about my honorable deed. But I'm not a bad person. I'm a kid who's desperate for life. Want to hear my story? I live in the slums. I haven't had a childhood since I can remember. I have 7 other siblings, and to keep my brother from wandering off, my parents tied him up with a rope. Well, come to think of it, that's how I grew up. I was like a dog. To make ends meet, I bought a painkiller at every drugstore with a fraudulent prescription and lied to them about my mom's illness and my dad's disability. When I got the medicine back, my mom powdered it, poured it in water to soak my clothes, then dried them to sell for money to my brother who was in jail. At night, my siblings and I huddled on the floor less than a square meter to sleep. Life is like this, and mom and dad are still building people on the side. Hey, what to think? I could only cover my sister's ears. The next day, I noticed the red color on my sister's bed sheet. She had her period. It was over. She was at an age where she could be sold by mom and dad. I quietly washed her panties and patted her underneath with my own undershirt. I also stole tampons from boss's kiosk when he wasn't looking. I was so worried. All I could do was tell over and over again to never tell mom and dad. To protect her, I worked even harder, working day and night. But that day I came home and the house was bustling with activity. Boss had come to the door to propose, and my sister was on the sidelines. She was like a well-dressed commodity, and the adults kept talking about it just so they wouldn't have to pay rent. Ridiculous, isn't it? The next day, I woke up my sister. I was going to take him away from home. It was the only way for her to live, but it was too late. Mom dragged her downstairs. I couldn't stop her. She pushed her to the ground, and Dad put her on a motorcycle. I chased after him, shouting and venting my frustration. I didn't want to stay in this house for another minute. I got into the car that was supposed to take my sister with me. Looking out the window, I was so confused. Where could life take me? I couldn't help but get out of the car when we passed an amusement park. I've been working part-time since I could walk. I've never been to an amusement park before. Sitting on the Ferris wheel, I didn't feel any romance, only despair. With no home to go back to, I could only sleep here. I wish I could sleep forever. When I woke up and saw the statue, I peeled off her clothes and looked at her breasts. I wished I could have a warm embrace, too. I've eaten all the food I brought with me, and I've run out of money. I'm trying to find a job, but no one wants kids. What should I do? I met a playground worker on the way and asked her if she could give me some food. I was willing to work for her. She agreed. I had my first hot bath and my first full meal. She said she'd take me in as long as I helped with the kids. Of course, I said yes. It was much easier than my job at home. I breastfed and sang every day and watched cartoons with him using the mirror reflection. Here I experienced the warmth of home. That day she told me she was actually an illegal immigrant and had been deported without a passport. So she was a poor person like me. That day she went out to do some errands and never came back. Baby cried non-stop. I knew the family was gone. I took baby to the restaurant where she worked but couldn't find her. I went to the place where she bought her passport, but still nothing. The guy tried to sell baby to me, but I didn't want to. I grabbed a neighbor's kid's skateboard, strapped on a broken pot, and made a baby card. I kept looking and looking. It's so hard to keep going. I feel like I'm gonna starve to death on the streets tomorrow. I decided to go back to my old job in order to feed my little brother who fell from the sky. I give fake prescriptions for painkillers, crush them up and put them in water and sell them by the glass to junkies. Instead of teaching me how to be a man, mom and dad taught me how to cheat and sell drugs. And this was my last resort. Ironic, isn't it? With the money, life started to get better. But when I came home from selling drugs, I realized that I hadn't paid the rent for too long. The door was locked, and all the furniture had been thrown out. All my hard-earned money was in my room. I was so desperate that I picked up a piece of wood and started to break the lock, but it was intact. Life had just given me a little bit of hope, and then it pushed me into the abyss once again. I've had enough of this life. I put my brother on the street, hoping some kind person would take him away. But as soon as I put him down, he crawled towards me. I'm going to break his heart if I do this to him, right? I was afraid he'd walk out into the road and put a leash on him, so I watched him from a short distance away. Surprisingly, he was struggling to break free from the leash. I thought of my siblings and I cried, but what else could I do? I had to give in to this life and hand him over to the passport guy. As I walked away, I couldn't help but look back at him with the same innocent look on his face. I decided to leave the country, but I didn't have a birth certificate in my hand, so I had to go back to this cold home again. I rummaged around the house and ended up waking up my father. He said we were just worms, with no identity, no status, no nothing. We only have hospital bills. I asked him what hospital bills and who was hospitalized. They all cried. That's when I learned that my sister died too young, hemorrhaging from pregnancy, and died in front of the hospital because she didn't have an account. My sister was the only thing I believed in to stay alive. With my sister dead, I lost my mind. I rushed out with a knife. I wanted to make the person who killed my sister pay. In the middle, I was arrested, and my story was on TV. My mom came over to visit me and asked him why he forgot about my sister so quickly. He told me that even though my sister was dead, she was pregnant with another one. I didn't want to say anything else and turned around and threw away what she gave me. That night I called the media and said that I would sue my parents in court. In court, my parents made a defense that they were born and raised the same way. But they didn't understand that growing up this way doesn't give them the right to repeat their fate on their offspring. What is the point of being born and not raised? I eventually won my case, and my parents were denied the right to procreate. That brother was eventually recovered, and I was given the opportunity to immigrate. It was all finally over. The photo shoot was the first time I was happy from the bottom of my heart. I had known life too soon and hadn't experienced childhood for too long. Painful and loving, desperate and fighting, hard and soft. This is my story. I hope